Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And give us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever.
Amen.
Turn to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like to recognize the Duff Street Methodist Church Boy Scout Troop 547. They're going to be reviewing us this evening and just seeing how City Council operates. So we'd like to welcome them this evening, and I have a little token of appreciation for each of them. Maybe I'll just give it to the leader and you can pass these out. Thank you for coming this evening.
Petitions, communications, and public hearings. Francie Floyd wishes to address council concerning the SWAT team.
SWAT team.
Okay. I heard it worked tonight. On April 27th, I covered the issues with CBD's SWAT team that they were having. I'd very much like to do a follow-up, given it's now June. Is it okay if I get the status of what's happening? And I'd like to know if I could possibly attend a training session.
And I think we would do that.
Okay.
I'd like to make sure it's one where it's not going to be,
Crazy.
yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
City manager's report and update.
Center of Economic Development, the Robison Grand Theater, Larson Design Group. We've contracted with them through WYK to provide geotechnical excavation services, which is the boring, core drilling within the Robison Grand Theater. Public Works Department then remove certain sections of seating where they want to core drill, and then also in the rear of the building on the exterior, they want to do a core drilling out in the alley. We need to test the compaction rate of the soil underneath and also the water table underneath the Robison Grand. Also, we had an update meeting with myself and Assistant City Manager with WYK Associates and their team regarding the project as a whole. We had considerable conversation in regards to the operational functions of the theater, as well as the banquet hall upstairs in the theater, as well as discussion of the drainage, the storm, and sanitary, coming out of the theater itself, as well as the exterior to where we're taking it to, and also some mechanical equipment and adjacent utilities that do or could be affected by the Robison Grand and asbestos abatement.
Next question, yes. What are they doing with the old chairs?
We've discussed that too. We will give you an update at a later date, but we're contemplating some of the chairs in the external, on the aisle rows. We're going to have to save the outer areas of those. Those may have to be put back into the project for state sort of preservation office, preservation reasons. And the other chairs, they're all solid one row seats. So the other thought was to sell them off, obviously for revenue. I mean, everything in there is an asset to the city. We've discussed certain items within Robison Grand that we want to preserve, to put on display, that is still of historical nature of the Robison Grand within an area. Then the other things in there that can be auctioned off or sold, we'll sell for revenue purposes. State office building, the contractors, apparently you can see if you drive by, it's doing some major framing work now. The interior of the building is being done on the first and third floors. The exterior of the building is being framed on the first and fourth floors as of right now. Primani Brothers, we will be issuing a permit for construction and renovation of their new location within the next 2 weeks. The plan review has been completed. Elizabeth Shear Magic is opened on Tuesday, June June 2nd, and that is at the corner of Park Boulevard and Milford. And they will be having a ribbon cutting outcome.
I'm sorry, for those that don't know, can you tell them where the Primani's will be located?
Primani's will be at the entrance coming off Emily Drive, right there by Kohl's and Chick-fil-A, in that location there. The police and fire, we will be having a swearing in for possibly 2 police candidates on Thursday, June 18th at 10 a.m. here in the council chambers. These candidates will then report to the State Police Academy for their training beginning Monday, June 22nd. Upon completion of their training, then they will go through our FTO program, which is Field Training Officer Program, and then be put out on patrol after that. The live scan, the printer has been installed, which now enables the police department to actually print the fingerprints of any civilians that come in, and once those are done, so they can use them for their purposes instead of the old finger ink cards. Now we have the printer to print those off with the live scan. And just under events, it's a very busy month, getting ready for many events. Sunday, June 14th, Harrison County Prevention Partnership will be hosting a community walk uptown to bring awareness to mental health as well as drug awareness. And that's going to start the walk at the Jackson Square upper level. And then they will have a meet and greet with information there also before and after the walk. Tuesday, June 16th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., the West Virginia Beef Industry Council will be hosting an event on the upper level of the Jackson Square. And they'll also have samples of West Virginia grown beef, raised beef, here at Jackson Square also open to the public. This is, I believe, the third year that we've had them here, so we'll begin to welcome them. And then Friday, June 19th, is Clarksburg's Uptown Jazz Stroll, which begins at 6:30 p.m. Again, 5 venues this year, which include the 5th floor Lounge, Kelly's Irish Pub, Main Street Cafe, Starving Artist Studio, and Washington Square. And Saturday, June 20th, is the Greater Clarksburg 10K. That race does begin at 10:30 a.m. There's also the 2-mile run, and then there's Kids K events also throughout the day. Sunday, June 21st, there would also be a Father's Day celebration taking place at 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Monticello Avenue, which that street will be closed from Anderson Street to Heyman Highway.
Thank you.
City clerk's information, a zoning form in connection with a notice of application to operate a private club, private wine restaurant, or tavern was filed by Christine's Hot Spot Lounge located at 742 West Pike Street and returned to the applicant on May 20th. No unfinished business. New business, consideration of first reading of an ordinance establishing salaries or compensation for municipal officers and employees for fiscal year 2015-16 and repealing all inconsistent ordinances.
Madam Mayor, I move that this council give approval to the first reading of this ordinance as titled.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Just if our city manager would explain the process of why we do this, please.
Yes. This City Council approves within the budget the salaries as part of the budgeting process, but this resolution authorizes those that were already budgeted. There is a scale of a range that is in there, but all the employees that were authorized at 2% or 3% COLAs are reflected within this resolution. And then that authorizes the payroll department to disperse those payments accordingly.
Is it a resolution or an ordinance? A resolution or an ordinance? Okay, thank you. Oh, okay, sorry.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of a resolution to approve revision to the city budget for fiscal year 2014-15.
Madam Mayor, I recuse myself from this vote because part of the money to be voted on will benefit my employer.
He leaves the room. Madam Mayor, I move that this council give positive approval to this resolution as titled.
Second.
Do we have discussion?
Yes.
Just, could we have our finance director maybe just give a review for the folks that are in attendance?
This is the third final revision for the fiscal year, and under the guidelines of the State Auditor's Office, the final revision has to be completed before June 15th. It's the last time you can revise. So what we try to do is we try to wait until we get closer to the end of the year so we can take a look at the revenues and expenses that need adjusted. The memo that I gave you pretty much highlights some of the changes. Federal grant that we received for overtime for the task force. The Morpho live scan that Martin talked about in his report. And then we go on and talk about some of our state grants, our franchise fees. And basically, we just take a look at the revenues and expenses to see what can be increased and what can be decreased with the adjustment, final adjustment being made to contingencies. Increases in legal fees and engineering fees, summary of the sidewalk program, a couple of the major projects that we did, large sidewalk program that we did on Meigs Avenue, Chestnut Street and West Virginia Avenue, and adjustment for the amount spent for salt cinders for the winter season. And I think the highlight is we did increase the contribution to the rainy day fund. We will put in over $470,000 into the rainy day fund, which continues to provide funds that we need for the projects that we are doing now and maybe we'll do in the future. The $2,500 for the jazz stroll, the council approved at the last meeting, is included in there. And in the rainy day fund, it just shows the increase coming from the general fund to get to the $470,000. And pretty much covers everything, adjustment to contingencies, and those increases will be the last division for this fiscal year.
Any further discussion?
I'd just like to point out that when we're moving these dollars around to make sure the number is balanced at the end of our fiscal year, that something as simple as a mild winter can save the city taxpayers $15,500. After our prior winter, not the last one, the one before last, we budgeted based on what we used for that year and an increase in prices, correct? For salt and what have you, and the fact that we didn't use as much this year, something that simple can save us $15,000 almost. So those are the little adjustments that we've got to make, knowing things that have changed through the course of the year after the budget has already been prepared. Thank you.
Mayor, we also need to take note that we use other cost-saving measures too, which I give full credit to the Public Works Director and their department in using more cinders this year rather than using more expensive salt, which helped keep our costs under control. And I do think that was a very, very wise, very smart move that they were able to do that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Council comments? We'll get Brian back. Brian, we'll start with you.
I just wanted to thank everybody for coming here, and especially now since the Boy Scouts here. I remember participating in Boy Scouts many years ago, and it's nice to see a good organization like that be represented.
I just like to thank everybody for coming this evening. Have a good weekend.
I'd like to applaud the fact that though we've got a long way to go, we moved from, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. City Clerk, from about 19, below 20% up to close to 25% in our registered voter turnout in the most recent election. And I'd like to see it a lot higher than that, but it is a positive move, and we obviously got a lot more of our residents involved in the electoral process. Also, I'd like to quickly acknowledge Mr. Sigmund, who will be sworn in on July 1st, and congratulate him again. Some of the people that are in attendance might not have met you yet, but our congratulations to you, and look forward to serving with you. That's all.
A couple things. I too would like to congratulate Chad Sigmund and congratulate you for being the victor. However, I'm going to be sad because I'm going to miss my partner, usually the same crime.
right thing to say.
I'm talking in generalities. Also would like to point out that when I'm driving through town, it's nice to see construction going on. The Coastal Credit Union, State Building, Clemente Brothers going to start. We're going to have some housing that's going to be under construction. A lot of construction going on in Clarksburg, a lot of positive things, and it does my heart good. Also, the Boy Scouts, I'm proud to be part of your possibly earning a merit badge in government. Thank you all for being here. Please come back. You'll learn a lot coming to these meetings. And also would like to thank Annette and her team for a wonderful job this past election. And I know she worked into the late hours and then worked many hours before. And I want to thank them very much. And that's all.
Yes, a couple of things here. I'd just like to throw out a reminder to all of the candidates that happen to be here, if that applies to them, that there's still several candidates that have signs out that probably need to be addressed. I wanted to also welcome the Scouts. You know, it's refreshing to look at the Scout leader and remember him when he was that age, and we're so glad to have you and the group that you brought with you. This is where we have so much future with a group like this. We thank you for coming and joining us. While I was out doing campaigning, I came across a couple of conclusions that have, I'm sure, have crossed all of your minds. The war, and I'm going to call it the war with grass in this city, is one I don't know if we can ever begin to win. It is out of control in so many places because people will not take care of empty lots. The owners do not take care of their properties. It is, you know, people say, well, it's the city's responsibility to do that. And I tell you folks, it's not the city's responsibility. It's the people that own the property. We end up having to come and do these things because other people don't do them and they become a hazard or a problem in the neighborhood. But if you want to be upset with somebody, please do not be upset with the city. Be upset with the people who own these lots and don't handle their responsibility to keep their lots in good condition. That's who you need to be upset with. Another thing that I'm very concerned about, and again, this comes with all of the problems that have been generated through our code enforcement office. The conditions of some of the houses in our neighborhoods have deteriorated to the point that I can't begin to see what the end result is going to be. It's out of control. Housing is out of control. The condition of the houses is out of control. Whether it be through people who are selling drugs within the neighborhoods, or whether it's through people who have rentals and they don't care whether they take care of their property, but it's out of control. What are we going to do about it? I don't know. I don't know. Until we can get some sort of unity in our code enforcement department, that people quit suing us, and people quit trying to find reasons to sue us, and quit trying to find reasons for work being done illegally, it isn't going to happen. And each and every one of you sitting in this room says, I don't want to see my city deteriorate any further. Yet, every single one of us in this room, your hands are tied. Your hands are tied. Your hands are tied. Your hands are tied. What are we to do? Let's find out. I don't know. I wish this next council so much luck and so much good fortune to find that answer and to see that people in Charleston are not fed information that is injurious to the citizens of Clarksburg. That's, you know what? This is the irony behind this, folks. And trust me, I didn't mean to get on my soapbox here at this late date. It's not the council you're hurting. It's not that. For any of you that have understand? 3 years now? This has been going on. That Charleston has tied our hands because of the complaints of a very few people. You are paying the price. That's all I have to say about that. One of the last things I want to congratulate Mr. Sigmund. I know that you are going to find challenges ahead of you that you are going to enjoy helping to find answers. And I applaud your win, and I hope that you will become an important part of our family here in Clarksburg. Last of all, I would like to ask this council, Annette Wright, our city clerk, Annette Wright Chamberlain, our city clerk, I feel, and I hope that there will be a consensus, has worked over and above the call of duty on making this be an election that again went without a flaw, without anybody from Charleston appearing and saying, I want to see your records. Well, you know what? Because it did happen once before. I would hope, and we certainly can't come to any conclusion about that, but I hope that we as a council can, by the next meeting, come to a conclusion on some sort of appropriate one-time monetary reward to her for service to the citizens of Clarksburg and service to the city council. Thank you. I appreciate all of you coming, and be prepared. Is that what it is? Be prepared. 3 fingers. Be prepared. Be prepared, folks. Come.
Thank you.
Margaret, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Real quick, Chad, welcome. And we got to celebrate the other night, so that was good. Just speaking of the election, we will be canvassing the votes on Monday, June 8th, here in council chambers at 8 a.m., and it's open to the public. So anybody interested in watching that process, it might even be a good opportunity for the Boy Scouts to come and watch that process. But be prepared to spend a couple hours. But you don't have to stay the whole time. But anyway, again, it's open to the public, and everybody's welcome to attend that. And that concludes council comments.
Just for something.
German?
Oh, I'm sorry. Move to adjourn.
Okay, they're going, excuse me. The boys actually had a couple things they wanted to propose. One of the, they have something written, and it's just, I don't know if Andy realized it or not, so.
Oh, okay.
Just take a minute.
Yeah, they can come up to the mic.
Yeah. Chuck, could you help figure out a way for that mic to get closer to them? Yeah. Did you really come off of that class? Yeah.
Don't say my name.
Good evening, members of the Clarksburg City Council. My name is Bryce Miller. I am here with Boy Scouts Troop 547, chartered to the Duck Street Church Method. We are earning a badge called Citizenship and Community. We would like to tell you about 2 different projects that we like to see happen in Clarksburg that would give the kids a lot of money, something fun to do. The first one costs the most, but would be paid with the money from the Clarksburg City Council and the Anderson County Commission. We would like to have a free splash park for kids like Fairmont has. It could be like the big park in our resort. It would be the best thing Clarksburg has ever done for the young people. We do have the splash tournament at the VA park, but the $9 cost to get in is too much for some parents, especially when the family has more than one child. With a free splash park, kids can afford to go to the pool, could go into the free splash park and have just as much fun. The other idea wouldn't cost near as much. The other idea is to provide arcade or video game at the rec centers in Clarksburg. We realize that the rec centers are mainly for the kids who play basketball and other things, but other kids that don't enjoy sports as much would like somewhere to have recreation that is a safe place off the street. Thank you for listening to us and giving us our time to think about these ideas.
appreciate someone looking into it, because it's obvious that